Hi dear students, myself Deepak More and today I am going to teach you physics of standard 8, lesson number 2nd, and name of the lesson is physical quantities and measurements. As we learned in the last videos about density, units of density, relationship between SI and CGS unit, measurement of density of regular solids, measurement of volume of liquids by using different vessels, measurement of density of irregular solids, etc. Now today is the time to learn about measurements of density of a liquid. So how to determine the density of a liquid? In this particular determination, first of all we have to measure the mass of a liquid. After measuring the mass of that same quantity, we have to measure the volume of that particular liquid. After getting the values of mass and volume, we have to put that values in a formula of density. D equals to capital M upon V, and whatever the answer we are getting, that is nothing but a density of a liquid. Now the next topic of the lesson is density bottle. So we will see the density bottle. A density bottle is a specially designed bottle which is used to determine the density of a liquid as shown in the figure. It is a small glass bottle having a glass stopper at its neck. The bottle can store a fixed volume of a liquid. Generally, the volume of a bottle is 25 ml or 50 ml. The stopper has a narrow hole through it. When the bottle is filled with the liquid and stopper is inserted, the excess liquid rises through the hole and drains out through the bottle. Always contains the same volume of the liquid each time when it is filled. And that is why the density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube. So the mass of water needed to fill the bottle completely will be given as a volume of the bottle. This is what about the density bottle. Now, how to measure the density of a liquid by using a density bottle? So we will learn it. To determine the density of a liquid using the density bottle, we have to measure the mass of a liquid and mass of a water taken in it by using the common beam balance. The mass of a water in the density bottle gives the volume of a liquid. We will see the example. First, wash the bottle and write. Then, measure the mass of an empty bottle using the beam balance. Let the mass M1 is equals to 30 gram. Remove the stopper of the bottle and fill it with the water. Replace the stopper, wipe the outside of the bottle dry. Measure its mass again. Let the mass be M2 gram and it is equals to 60 gram. Empty the bottle and write again. Now fill the bottle with the given liquid. Replace the stopper, wipe the outside of the bottle dry, measure its mass again. Let the mass be empty gram and it is equals to 54 gram. Now calculate the mass of water, that is M2 minus M1, and M2 minus M1 is equals to 60 gram minus 30 gram and it is equals to 30 gram. And mass of a liquid is equals to M3 minus M1 and it is equals to 54 gram minus 30 gram and it is equals to 24 gram. So as we got the values of M2 minus M1 and M3 minus M1, since the density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube, the mass of water contained in the bottle gives the volume of water. Thus, mass of a liquid is equals to M3 minus M1 gram and volume of liquid is equals to M2 minus M1 centimeter cube, as 1 gram per centimeter cube is equals to 1 centimeter cube. Therefore, density of a liquid is equals to mass of a liquid upon volume of a liquid, and after putting the values of M3 minus M1 upon M2 minus M1, that is equals to 24 gram upon 30 centimeter cube and whatever the answer we are getting, that is equal to 0.8 gram per centimeter cube, and that is nothing but a density of a liquid. This is how we learned how to find out the density of a liquid by using a density bottle. Now we will turn to the next topic of the lesson, that is nothing but a relative density. So what is meant by relative density? A relative density is a density in which we have to find out the density of a water and density of a liquid, and the formula is as density of a substance upon density of a water, and whatever the units will be there, that are same, that is why both the units are cancelled, and whatever the answer we are getting, that is unitless, and hence the relative density is unitless. Next we will see the example. Suppose that we have to find out the relative density of iron. So the density of iron is 7.8 gram per centimeter cube, and the density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube. Hence the relative density of iron is equals to density of iron upon density of water, and after putting the values as 7.8 gram per centimeter cube upon 1 gram per centimeter cube is equals to 7.8, as gram per centimeter cube and gram per centimeter cube are getting cancelled. But density of a substance is the mass of 1 centimeter cube of that substance. Therefore we can also express the relative density of a substance as follows. So relative density of a substance are given as mass of 1 centimeter cube of the substance upon mass of 1 centimeter cube of water, or it is given as mass of a V centimeter cube of a substance upon mass of a V centimeter cube of water, or it is given as mass of any volume of the substance upon mass of the same volume of the water. Thus, relative density of a substance can also be defined as the ratio of mass of any volume of the substance to the mass of equal volume of the water. This is how we can able to find out the relative density, and as we know that relative density is unitless. Now the next topic of the lesson is density of a substance in its different states. So we will see it. A substance can exist in a 3 states: solid, liquid and gas. For example, ice, water and steam are the 3 states of a same substance, that is nothing but a water. According to the molecular model, we have to read that the molecules of a solid are closely packed, molecules of a liquid are loosely packed, while those of the gas are very loosely packed. Therefore, a substance is highly dense in a solid state, less dense in a liquid state, and still less dense in a gaseous state. Thus, the density of a substance in a solid state is more than in a liquid state, and density of a substance in a liquid state is more than in a gaseous state. Now, the next topic of the lesson is floating and sinking. So, what is meant by floating and what is meant by sinking? We will learn it. We can able to define floating and sinking. As floating, we can able to define as floating means what? If any object having the less density than the water, then the object will float on a surface of the water or a liquid. And sinking means what? If an object having the more density, then that object will sink in a liquid or water. This is how we can able to define floating and sinking. Now we will learn the principles of floating. So there are 2 principles, that are the weight of the body W acting vertically downwards. This force has a tendency to sink the body. And second one principle is the buoyant force of the liquid Fb acting vertically upwards. The buoyant force is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced by the immersed part of the body. This force has a tendency to move the body up. This is why buoyant force is also called upthrust. So in the first case, when the weight of the body is more than the buoyant force Fb, then what will happen? In this particular case, when the weight of the body will be more than the buoyant force of the liquid, that time the liquid's density will be less than the body's density. That is why the body will sink inside in the liquid. Now the second case is as when the weight of the body is equal to the density of a liquid. In this particular phase, when both weight and the density of a liquid are equal, then the particular body is floating, but it is floating in the surface of the liquid. It means that the body is floating but inside in the liquid at the upper part, as you can able to see in the picture. Now the third condition is what? When a weight of the body is less than the density of a liquid. In this particular condition, the body is floating above the water because the buoyant force is emerging on the body more than the weight of the body, and the reason is that the weight of the body is less than the buoyant force of the liquid. This is how we see the principle of the flotations and three cases of a flotation.